Hello and good morning friends, welcome once again to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, with the third lecture on brand management, today we are again with you. As you know that we have conducted 2 lectures on brand management so far, and this topic on our discussion, that is brand management, which we are talking is an important part of our series on marketing management. So far we have conducted numerous sessions under the series marketing management, and brand management is one of them. Since the previous 2 sessions, we are trying to make you aware with what brands are and how brand management is done, so that it becomes convenient for you to get the in-depth knowledge on brand management. Today also we are pleased to announce that we are conducting a lecture for you, and I hope that you would be enjoying and would be learning more and more through this session on brand management. So dear friends, without wasting any time, I would like to tell you all that today we have again with us in our studios Dr. Subhash Kakkar, who is a coordinator of this series, and very efficiently he is explaining us in detail about the various aspects of marketing management. So I would like to welcome our guest Dr. Subhash Kakkar, and let's try to understand more about brand management through him. Hello sir, welcome to the Edison.
Thank you and welcome viewers. As you know that we are carrying lectures on the subject marketing management. A number of lectures have already been delivered. Last 2 lectures we devoted to brand management. It is an important topic. Viewers must understand the concept of brand management, its implications and its impact also. For that, I have used my knowledge, my experience, and I have read a number of books available on marketing management. I have also consulted a number of articles available on the internet. After consulting these books and these articles, I have prepared a lecture for you, so that you should understand this topic very well and you should get in-depth concept of this particular topic. And I am thankful to all those authors whose books I have consulted, all those authors whose articles on internet I have consulted. In the last 2 lectures, we have covered a number of topics under brand management. These were introduction to brand management in my first lecture. What is brand, brand name and brand attributes, brand positioning? These topics were discussed in detail in my first lecture. And in the second lecture, what we discussed are brand identity, sources of brand identity, brand image, brand identity versus brand image, brand personality, brand awareness. All these topics we have already discussed in the last 2 lectures, and today we are going to devote time to discuss further on this particular concept of brand management. Today's lecture will cover broadly brand loyalty, brand association, brand promise, building a brand, brand equity, as well as customer equity. We will also devote time to discuss brand extension. Viewers, if I am able to make you understand this particular topic, I will feel amply awarded. Today's part 3 of the lecture on brand management. I have already told you today's lecture will cover brand loyalty, brand association, brand promise, building a brand, brand equity and customer equity, and then finally we will discuss brand extension. Brand loyalty, what does it mean? Brand loyalty is a scenario where the consumer fears purchasing and consuming product from another brand which he does not trust. It is measurable and it is measured also through methods like word of mouth publicity, repetitive buying, price sensitivity, commitment, brand trust, customer satisfaction, etc. And this is the meaning of brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is the extent to which a consumer constantly buys the same brand within a product category. The consumers remain loyal to a specific brand as long as it is available. They do not buy from other suppliers within the product category. Now, here there are two things I want to discuss. One is the availability of the product. Second is satisfaction of the customer. As people are loyal to a particular brand, they will buy the products of that brand. They can also compromise with the satisfaction which the product gives to them. But if they are loyal to the product brand, they will keep buying the product as long as the brand is available in the market. Brand loyalty exists when the consumer feels that the brand consists of right product characteristics and quality at right price. There are particularly three things which are important for any product to be bought by any customer: quality, availability, and the price. Even if the other brands are available at cheaper price or superior quality, the brand loyal consumer will stick to his brand. This is the meaning of brand loyalty. I said, even if the price is higher, even if the quality is slightly inferior, but the consumers will stick to one brand as they are loyal to the brand. Brand loyal consumers are the foundation of an organization. What we want? We want only loyal customers and loyal customers to the brand. Greater loyalty levels lead to less marketing expenditure because the brand loyal customers promote the brand positively. When we have more and more brand loyal consumers available in the market, we need not spend more on the advertisement, on the marketing of the product, because our brand loyal customers will promote the product rather than spending money on the marketing activities. Also, it acts as a means of launching and introducing more products that are targeted at same customers at less expenditure. It also restrains new competitors in the market. Brand loyal is a key component of the brand equity. When we have brand loyal customers available in the market, the competitors will not take risk to enter into the market. They know that the customers are loyal to a particular brand. If they introduce a product, the customers will not switch over to their product, as the loyalty stands there. When we have brand loyal customers available, this forms a brand equity. This is the meaning of brand equity, and we should always work for improving the brand equity in the market. Brand loyalty can be developed through various measures such as quick service, ensuring quality products, continuous improvement, wide distribution network, etc. Here are the certain things which are being mentioned to improve the brand equity. One is, we should provide the best quality product to the customers all the times, and the availability of the product should be such that whenever a customer needs a product, it should be made available to him. He should not have to wait for procuring the product. Then the price component of the product should also be reasonably good, and the product should be reasonably priced so that the customers can afford to buy the product. When all these qualities and characteristics in the product are available, then the customers and the consumers will become loyal to the brand, and they will never switch over to any other brand or any other product which is available in the market. One more thing is to be added here. When we talk of quality, then we should talk of network also. Supply chain management of the organization must be very strong, and the items and the products and the services be available at all the corners of the country, and without wasting time on the transportation, the consumers and the customers should be able to get the product whenever they require it. So, one should continuously devote activities to improve the product at all the times. Every time a new feature must be added to the product so that the customers starts liking the product, and customers become loyal to the brand what they are going to buy. When consumers are brand loyal, they love you for being you, and they will minutely consider any other alternative brand as a replacement. So, in nutshell, we can say that brand loyalty can be defined as relative possibility of customer shifting to another brand in case there is a change in product's features, price or quality. As brand loyalty increases, customers will respond less to competitive moves and actions. Brand loyal customers remain committed to the brand, are willing to pay higher price for that brand, and will promote their brand always. And this is the meaning of brand loyalty and the brand equity. A company having brand loyal customers will have greater sales, less marketing and advertising costs, and best pricing. Here we are talking about three basic things. One is we have brand loyal customers. When we have brand loyal customers, we can have quality which is at par with the competitors. We can have more customers which are being promoted by brand loyal consumers. We will have to spend less on the marketing activities. We will have to spend less on the advertising. And we can charge the best price for the product also, as we have brand loyal customers. And this brand loyalty is not built in a day. It takes time and it takes ages to build brand loyalty, and then finally brand equity. This is because the brand loyal customers are less reluctant to shift to other brands, respond less to price changes, and self-promote the brand as they perceive that their brand have unique value which is not provided by other competitive brands. In the hearts, in the minds of the people who are brand loyal, they are reluctant to switch over to any other brand or any other product, even if the price is slightly high or even if the quality is slightly inferior, because they perceive the brand in a manner that that particular brand and that particular product is going to satisfy them the most. Whatever characteristics, whatever features they are looking for in the product, they feel that all are provided by the brand. So, it becomes very hard for the brand loyal customers to switch over to any other brand. Brand loyalty is always developed post purchase to develop brand loyalty, an organization should know their niche market, target them, support their product, ensure easy access of their product, provide customer satisfaction, bring constant innovation in their product, and offer schemes on their product so as to ensure that customers repeatedly purchase the product. On one side, I have mentioned that the consumers will not switch over to any other brand even if the price is high, because consumers are brand loyal. The organizations who have brand loyal consumers, they spend more on the innovation, they keep improving the product, and they keep improving the processes which manufacture the product, and they work on reducing the cost of production. When the cost of production is reduced, that benefit is passed on to the consumers, and the prices are charged less. Even schemes are offered to the loyal customers so that they can get benefit out of those schemes. So this is the meaning of brand loyalty. Now we'll talk of brand association. Now we'll spend some time on brand association also. Brand associations are not benefits but are images and symbols associated with a brand or a brand benefit. I'll again repeat it. Brand associations are not benefits but are images and symbols associated with a brand or a brand benefit. Associations are not reasons to buy but provide acquaintance and differentiation that is not replicable. It is relating perceived qualities of a brand to a known entity, and this is the meaning of brand association. Most popular brand associations are with the owners of brand. Now the viewers can see what experience they have got so far from their daily and routine purchases. They see the brands in the daily purchase list of the products, and then they can see themselves, these are the brands and these are the related associations with the brands. Brand association is anything which is deep seated in a customer's mind about the brand. This association gets embedded in the minds and the hearts of the people who are brand loyal. Brand should be associated with something positive so that the customers relate your brand to being positive. Brand associations are the attributes of brand which come into consumers' mind when the brand is talked about. This is the brand association. On one side we have association which is connected with the brand. Whenever somebody, whenever some consumer, whenever some customer comes across a brand, immediately the association connected with that brand comes into the mind of those customers and those consumers. They recall the association which is there with the brand, and these associations become very important in the eyes of the consumers. It is related with the implicit and explicit meanings which a consumer relates, associates with a specific brand name. Brand association can also be defined as the degree to which a specific product oblique service is recognized within its product service class category. On one side, we have a product or service category. With respect to that, we have a brand in our mind, and then immediately we have some association related with that brand in our mind. While choosing a brand and its name, it is essential that the name chosen should reinforce an important attribute or benefit association that forms its product positioning. Here we are talking about 2-3 things. One is the brand name, other is the attribute of the product, third is the association, and the fourth is positioning. The brand name should be such that it gives an idea of some attribute of the product. When we look at the brand and the product, immediately that attribute should come into our mind. When that comes into our mind, we are again reminded of the characteristics and the features of the product. And immediately the association which is with respect to the brand also come into our mind. And then we see that the product is positioned properly with the audience and those targeted audience only. Brand associations are formed on the following basis, and these bases are: customers' contact with the organization and its employees. So, customers must constantly be in contact with organization and its employees. Advertisements, the customers and the consumers must never miss any advertisement which is given by the organization. Word of mouth publicity, price at which the brand is sold, celebrity, big entity association, quality of the products and schemes offered by the competitors. When we talk of competitors, we should also talk of our own schemes which are being offered to the consumers, product class, category to which the brand belongs, and then finally POP, point of purchase, displays, etc. And these are the brand associations which are formed on the following basis. Positive brand associations are developed if the product which the brand depicts is durable, marketable, and desirable. Here we are talking about DMD. DMD means durable, marketable, and desirable. The customers must be persuaded that the brand possesses the features and attributes satisfying their needs. The needs of the customers, wants of the customers, requirements of the customers must be satisfied by the brand. This will lead to customers having a positive impression about the product. Positive brand association helps an organization to gain goodwill and obstructs the competitors' entry into the market. It becomes a hurdle for the competitors to enter into the market when we have positive association related to a brand, because the competitors will feel difficult to enter into the market when highly associated items are available with the available brand. Now we will talk about brand promise. Our brand is a promise of what we deliver. In my earlier lectures, I said USP is not unique selling propositions. Nowadays, USP is unique selling promise. When we sell anything, we promise something to the customers, and we should take care of that promise, and it should be fulfilled by all means. And this promise is given by the brand. This promise is given by the symbol. This promise is given by the logo. This promise is also given by the association which is there with the brand. So, we have to take care of the promise which is given by the brand. Brand evokes the responses. There are many people who love their articles because they are of some particular brand. This is a brand loyalty we are talking about. because we start loving a product. We fell in love with the product because of its brand, which is attached to the product. There are certain feelings that come to your mind when you think about your favorite brands. People expect that these brands should demonstrate brand promises every time whenever they are encountered. Whenever see a brand, we should always recall the promise which is attached to the brand. If such is the case, then the people become loyal to the brand. Inconsistencies in the performance of the services can lead to damage in further relations. This can cause a customer to select some other brand. So, here the lesson is the services attached to a product must be taken care of so that the promises what we give to the customers should always be fulfilled. Otherwise, what will happen? In due course of time, even our loyal customers will like to shift to some other brand. So, we have to take care of the services attached to a product, and in the service industry, manufactured products attached to the services. Brand promises which you say to the customer and what is to be delivered. Brand promise is what you say to the customer and what is to be delivered to the customer. So, our brand is nothing but a promise to the customer. If you are not able to meet the expectations of the customer, your business will either flounder or die. If you are not able to deliver the brand promise, you will not be able to meet the expectations that they have been created in the customer's mind. It takes time, it takes ages to build an image in the eyes of the consumers, in the eyes of the customers. And then people become brand loyal. Now they expect certain promise to be delivered to them if they buy a product of a particular brand. If that promise is not fulfilled on buying the product, in due course of time, the loyal customers will start shifting to some other brand, and we should always avoid this kind of situation to happen. This can only happen when we are not taking care of innovation, we are not improving the quality, and we are not working on the price of the product. So, on the other hand, if we want to retain our image in the eyes of the consumers, we must take care of the innovation. We always try to improve the product. We always try to introduce new features in the product so that loyal customers must remain loyal and more customers should come into the brand equity. There are three major mistakes that the business leaders make while executing and developing the brand promise. What are these mistakes? The first mistake is when you refuse to recognize the customer expectations that are created in the customer's mind before it comes in contact with a particular brand. The customers are very easily able to realize your brand promise by the business you are dealing with. Here, one must be careful in knowing, in recognizing the customer expectations. And these expectations must be fulfilled by your own promise to the customers. And that promise must be given by the brand, that promise must be given by the product what the customers buy. And these customers very easily realize the promise attached to a brand. And only thing what we have to do, we have to understand the expectations of the consumers. And our promise which is attached to the brand must be in line with the expectations of the consumers, must be in line with the requirements and the needs of the customers. The second major mistake is to implement a system which gives a negative experience to the customers. And this mistake should be avoided by all means. Business leaders work on creating efficient results for saving time and money. Human beings are self-centered creatures with a thought in their mind to save money and time for us. We have to always avoid this mistake. I'll repeat, the mistake is to implement a system which gives a negative experience to the customers. We should always see that no negative experience must be passed on to the customers and the consumers. The third major mistake is that when you are not able to hire the best candidate, you easily hire anyone who applies and don't even put some efforts to train them, gives a really terrible experience to the customers. Brand promises are delivered by the staff. Here, we must have the best available employees who can satisfy the customers, whether it is manufacturing industry, whether it is service industry. We should take sufficient time in hiring the best people who can satisfy the customers, who can promote our brand, and who can promote the features of the product. And we should try to train the people so that they are in line with the culture of the organization. And they should always work for satisfying the customers. If such is the training will have the maximum impact on the employee as well as on the customers. Customer satisfaction will be there if we have the proper employees. We should always try to avoid square pegs in the round holes. If your goal is to be a business leader, you will invest time to train the staff. So one thing, if your goal is to be a business leader, you will invest time to train the staff. Training must be given due importance at the shop floor and in the office also. If you select a person who is very polite and does not even know how to dress up for an interview, then your competition should send a thank you card for all the business you will send this way. So we should be careful in hiring people. People who want to become the business leader understand they are great product brands. They are authentic, dependable, and reliable. Their icon is their name. Delivering the best of themselves is their brand promise. If you want to become winner at working, then deliver the brand promise. Again, we are attaching the importance must be given to the promise what the brand stands for. We see a brand, immediately we recall the promise attached to the brand. The viewers can list down different brands in one column, and in the second column, the corresponding promise, what they feel is attached to a particular brand, they should write. This way they will learn the promises which are given by different brands. And then they will know that how the companies are fulfilling the promises. In the days to come, the companies will work on improving the product so that the promises attached to the brand are fulfilled in all times. Now we'll discuss steps in building a brand name, product or service. We have to build a name. We have to make a name for the brand. And this brand is for the product we are offering. This name is for the service what we are offering to the customers. At times, organizations are often inspired by a variety of ideas to create products and services which can be offered locally or globally. Generally, such products or services require the establishment of a brand or company name, and such kind of importance is being given to the brand or the company name or the logo of the company or the symbol of the company. Without having this, we cannot have operations globally and even locally also. To enlarge our operations, we must work on some brand, and we are to build this brand in the minds of the people, in the minds of the consumers. Often these brands include both logo and lettering and can do a long way in advertising such products or services. As I have already given, brand should be there, even logo should be there, symbol can be there, and letters can be there. But when we see these things, we are immediately reminded of the company who is behind all these brands and symbols. Therefore, one of the most important steps in building a brand is to decide upon a brand name for the product or service one wishes to sell. We have a product, we have a service which is to be sold to the consumers. With respect to the product, with respect to the service, we must have a brand, and that brand must get embedded in the minds of people, in the hearts of people. So, branding is a process that allows an individual or a group of individuals the ability to provide a brand image and lettering to an idea. Here in this slide, we have talked about three things: brand image, lettering, and an idea. And this process is for somebody, individual, or a group of individuals who work for the brand image, lettering, and then finally an idea is depicted from the letters, from the logo, from the brand of any company. Upon doing so, one has a better chance of selling such items to a broader audience, whether that be on a local or global level. When a brand is established, then we can broaden the sphere of customers locally as well as globally. And this is the benefit what we get from the brand. Therefore, while the old adage, nothing happens until somebody sells something, still stands true to some extent, at times almost seems if the process of advertising and branding has overtaken the desire to sell. There is a desire to sell on one side. There are two offshoots are there when we have a desire to sell. One, we should encourage advertising. The second is we should encourage branding. When we talk of advertising, when we talk of branding, branding stands at a higher platform. The benefits what we get out of branding are much more than the advertising process. So, one must consider branding prior to advertising. Although branding generally identifies the company and the philosophies behind same. It can also be representative of those working for such a company. When we see the branding of any company, we are reminded of the culture of the company, we are reminded the philosophy of the company. We know that when we hear the vision statement of any company, we come to know the thing for which the company stands. Same is the result when we see the brand of any company. We are reminded of the motto of the organization for which the company stands for. This is a good thing as it generates the right type of audience to the product or service being sold based on personal relationship with those running the company, therefore benefiting both the organizations selling the branded product or service and the dealers buying the same. The branding also helps the dealers in selling the product. It becomes very easy for the dealers to convince the customers to buy the product because of the brand, because the brand has got amendment in the minds of people, amendment in the hearts of people. So it becomes easy for the dealers to sell the product to the consumers who are brand loyal. One of the most important steps in selling any product or service is the belief one holds in relation to the item. Therefore, only those who strongly believe in the products and services offered by the company are going to be good at selling same. Now, we are talking about belief, and this belief is there in the minds of people who are selling the product. They have good faith in the product. They know that these particular features are available in the product. If such a belief is there, if they are convinced with the product features, then they will convince others also that these features are there and you should also buy the product. So, belief has an important role to play. The sellers must have a belief, they must believe that certain features are present in the product and these features are satisfying features and consumers will also like those features. If such a belief is very strong, then the sales team will be able to convince customers and the consumers regarding the new features available on the product, and the consumers will definitely buy the product. Otherwise, one may want to work from an advertising or graphic artist perspective in relation to advertising rather than sales when it comes to time to market same. Another step is to build a brand that maintains loyalty with its customer base and has a strong customer service department. Here, when we have belief, when we have a faith in our belief, we will be able to make more and more customers loyal to our brand. We have to make one thing very strong: our service department must cater to the demands of the consumers and the customers when we are in the manufacturing industry. When we are in the service industry, our manufactured products must cater to the demands of the consumers and the customers. For having such a department in today's world, where one is both experienced and knowledgeable when it comes to helping others, can be a rare find. Here we are telling that it becomes very difficult to have a department in the company where we have both experience and knowledge available. But even if it is difficult, we must try to have such a department where we have knowledge and where we have experience. If such is the case, such department is available or such department exists in the company will be able to satisfy the customers. So companies who represent oneself as having strong customer base and even stronger customer service department are often more successful than those who do not. On one side, we have companies which have a very strong service department. On the other hand, we have companies which have less strong service department. Both the companies are equally competent in the manufactured products. The companies who are strong in service also will have more customers and will have more market share, and this has already been proved also. So one is to improve on the service department when one is improving the manufacturing department. We have to work on both knowledge and the experience, and we have to build a service department rich with experience and rich with knowledge. A very important step in marketing a brand is to identify the target audience. Before creating the logo and lettering in relation to marketing, on one side, we have to identify target audience. When we have identified our target audience, then we have to make a logo or a lettering or a symbol for them only. We have target audience in the villages, and if the logo is for the customers who live in cities, then the logo will not have much impact in the eyes of the customers. We must have a logo, we must have a symbol and the letters with respect to the target audience only. This is because different age groups react differently to variety of logo and lettering, especially as so much is misrepresented by a variety of gangs and others using such material inappropriately. If the logo is not with respect to the target audience, it can be misunderstood. Then we lose the market share, what we don't want. So we must have a brand, logo and symbol and even lettering only for the target audience. Therefore, if one can define the brand name, logo and lettering and present same to a marketing research review panel or the like, one may be able to gain a better understanding of which audience one needs to direct their product or service to in order to create the most sales. So sales can be improved if we have a brand specific to our target audience. Still, if one can communicate the use of their product or service clearly and then establish trust within the communication and the community, be that locally or globally, aim marketing at the right audience, build a base of buyers and the customer loyalty, and offer great customer service, then one is on their way to not only creating and advertising an excellent brand, but selling one as well. So selling can be improved if we have the brand as per the target audience, logo as per the target audience. Therefore, when looking for steps in building a brand, there are many steps which one can complete to help make the creation of such brand an easier task. These include knowing your audience, building your brand, finding a great logo, and lettering to represent same, targeting the appropriate audience, and placing the number of ads in as many online and offline advertising venues one can find. For after doing so, one may just find that they are selling even more products and services than one had ever dreamed possible. If we concentrate, what we discussed now will improve the sales like anything. We aimed at certain amount of sales, will get much more than that aim. Now we'll talk about brand equity and customer equity. When we have brand equity, finally we'll have customer equity also. Brand equity is defined as value and strength of the brand that decides its worth, whereas customer equity is defined in terms of lifetime values of all customers. And this is the difference between two, brand equity and customer equity. Brand equity and customer equity have two things in common. What are those common things? Both stress on significance of customer loyalty to the brand. Both stress upon the phase that value is created by having as many customers as possible paying as high price as possible. These two are common to both brand equity and customer equity. The important thing which has come out of this is, but conceptually, brand equity and customer equity differ. There is a difference between brand equity and customer equity. While customer equity puts too much emphasis on lower line financial value got from the customers, brand equity attempts to put more emphasis on strategic issues in managing brands. This is the difference between the two. Customer equity is less narrow alternative. It can overlook a brand's optional value and their capacity, effect, revenues, and cost beyond the present marketing environment. Just as customer equity can persist without brand equity may also exist without customer equity. So to conclude, we can say brands do not exist without consumer and consumer do not exist without brands. Brands serve as a temptation that utilizes other intermediaries to lure the customers from whom value is extracted. Customers serve as a profit medium for brands to encash their brand value. Both the concepts are highly correlated. Now we'll talk about brand extension, meaning, advantages and disadvantages. Brand extension is the use of an established brand name in new product categories. This new category to which the brand is extended can be related or unrelated to the existing product categories. A renowned, successful brand helps an organization to launch products in new categories more easily. Here we are talking about extension of a brand. Let's assume a manufacturer, a company is in the business of manufacturing sneakers, and they have a brand which is well known in the market. Now the company wants to come into business of manufacturing sports garments under the same brand name, and this will be called brand extension. From sneakers to garments, the brand has been extended. The company will try to get the mileage out of its existing brand, which has been established for the sneakers, and the company is now getting the benefit of that brand when it comes into garment manufacturing also. Here viewers can visualize what sort of these brands are, which have added different businesses to their brands, and they have got the benefit of brand extension. An existing brand that gives rise to a brand extension is referred to as parent brand. From the parent brand, we get an offshoot of different product. If the customers of the new business have values and aspirations synchronizing, matching those of the core business, and if these values and aspirations are embodied in the brand, it is likely to be accepted by customers in the new business also. One set of benefits the company is having from the brand which is existing at present. In future, the company is adding a new business line to its existing business. Using the same brand, the company will enjoy the benefits what the company has got from the original brand. So this is the meaning and the benefit which comes out of brand extension. Extending a brand outside its core product category can be beneficial in a sense that it helps evaluating product category opportunities, identifies resource requirements, lowers risk, and measures brand's relevance and appeal. Brand extension may be successful or unsuccessful. When we talk about the successes regarding the brand extension, we should not forget that we may face failures also when we involve in extending the brand. Instances where brand extension has been a success, viewers must list those brands, and the instances where brand extension has been a failure, viewers must understand the brands which met with a failure when they extended the brands. A number of examples will come to their mind. Both these situations viewers can see from their own experiences. Advantages of brand extension. There are certain advantages, and these advantages have come out of extension of the brand. So today viewers, we discussed a lot about brand loyalty, brand association, brand promise, building a brand, brand equity and customer equity, brand extension, etc. In the next lecture, we'll come with more ideas regarding brand management, and hopefully we'll conclude our lectures on brand management in the future lecture, which is to be delivered shortly. Thank you so much, viewers.
With this note, thank you, sir. Thank you so very much for giving us a very productive session once again, and we would be meeting again tomorrow and would be discussing another new aspect under the series Marketing Management. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.